Did you know that there's a hidden power in your pedals? It's beyond obvious that you use your pedals to get the bike rolling, to climb and descend, but there's another way to use your pedals that will completely unlock a new set of skills for you. Today we're going to learn all the different ways we can apply this new pedal power, along with plenty of drills to open up each skill that you can do with it. My name is Aaron, welcome to Super Rider. On this channel, we break down complex bike skills into easy to learn techniques so you can quickly apply it to your riding. Today, we're going to learn a skill that will unlock your bike's movement in a new way. It's going to help you create power and motion on the bike at slow speeds or even in standstill situations. When you find yourself in a rock garden or in a tight spot where you need to get your front wheel over something to continue down the trail, this is the technique that will save the day. If you've ever been mystified by watching a trials rider effortlessly jump through the air, I'm about to tell you the secret that they all know. There is a technique that they use to make the bike blast off the ground, and it's the source of their power. The good news is that you don't need to be a trials rider to learn or use this skill. It can be applied to mountain bikes, and that's exactly what we're going to learn today. The secret comes down to pedal pressure, and using it effectively can bring our front wheel off the ground to create momentum and ride over obstacles. You can also use it to make super tight turns on the bike. But it's not exactly that simple. We'll need to practice putting our body in the right position on the bike to unlock this skill, and this video and the drills we're going to practice will get you there in no time. Let's first talk about our bike setup to learn this skill. First things first, we need to make sure we're in a good gear to practice this skill. I'm usually in fourth gear when I practice this, and the reason why I use this gear is that it's hard enough that the bike will move when I push on it, but it's light enough that I can essentially kick the pedals quick enough to create the movement that I need. I would suggest starting in fourth gear just like me, but if you feel like it's too light or too heavy when you're practicing, you can always adjust it up or down. Next, drop your seat out of the way. We're going to be standing while we practice this skill, and with the front wheel coming up, you just want that thing out of the way. Last, and this is extremely important, move your hands out to the ends of your handlebars and just use your index finger at the end of the brake lever. This is going to give us maximum control over both the handlebars and the brakes, which becomes more important as we make our way through all the drills in this video. Okay, let's get into the pedal pressure basics. I'm going to teach you this skill, and then I have a bunch of different drills that you can practice to lock it in. We're mostly going to learn it rolling forward, but later in this video, I'll show you how to use this same skill to turn the bike in either direction. To understand this process, let's take a closer look at my cranks and pedals. As I prepare for this movement, I slow the bike down, then rotate my cranks about a quarter turn backwards. By pushing on the pedals just this much, I can bring the front wheel up into the air with almost no effort at all. If I want my front wheel to come up higher, I can rotate the cranks back even further. But to get started, we just need a little movement. But this is only the first part. The element that makes this pedal power really come to life is our position on the bike. This area right here is the bottom bracket, and I sometimes refer to this area as the center of gravity on the bike. To create power with your pedal pressure and to get the bike to do what you need it to do, you need to make sure that your center of gravity is behind this point on the bike before you start pushing on the pedals. Let me show you what this looks like so you can see both of these elements together. I'll roll slow, and as I'm rotating my cranks back, I'll drop my hips behind the seat. This clears the way for the pedal pressure to lift the front wheel up. From here, you can grab the back brake and then ease it off as you put on the pedals, or you can just try to slow down to an almost stop before attempting it. The real secret here is to make your pedal pressure movement snappy enough that the bike springs to life. If you push too slow, you're just going to roll forward. If you're too far forward on the bike, you'll just roll forward. It's the perfect combination of pedal pressure and body movement that makes this movement happen. The last thing that can help you out with this movement is thinking about your arms in a rowing motion. Someone once referred to this motion like a pair of scissors closing, which I think is pretty accurate. That rowing motion with your arms will guide the handlebars up, perfectly working together with your pedaling motion. This should be pretty light work for your arms. If you find yourself pulling too hard, you need to get back to the pedals and focus your attention there. One more important thing to keep in mind. The reason why we keep our hands wide on the handlebars with one finger on the brake is to modulate our brakes and pedal pressure to get the exact level of output. This part takes the longest to dial in perfectly, but it gives us even more control over our pedals and brakes. It's also important so we don't flip over backwards, although it's highly unlikely that you'll get anywhere close to the back wheel balance point when you're first practicing. But this will become more important as we get into the later drills in this tutorial. Our first drill is going to be a simple one. Find a line on the ground or use a small stick. Roll up to it and use your pedal pressure to lift your front wheel up and over the line. Keep going until you feel like you can do this every single time, and be conscious where your body is on the bike. Maybe even use your phone to film yourself. That can be a huge help when you're learning new movements on the bike. When you're feeling confident with this motion, let's try to ride up onto something with it. Find a curb in your neighborhood and time out your pedal pressure to lift your front wheel onto it. Think also about the momentum that you could build with this motion, which would carry you over the curb. The faster you execute the pedal pressure movement, the more momentum you can build, and that's ultimately what those trials riders are doing. Super fast pedal pressure to get the bike to move quickly. If you find a curb that's a little bit higher, or you want to test out the skill on a bigger obstacle, I think this movement sets you up really nicely to unweight the back tire as well. We started with our body at the back of the bike using our pedals to lift the front wheel onto the obstacle, but now we want to bring our back wheel up a bit higher onto that obstacle as well. Think about slingshotting your body weight toward the handlebars as the front wheel rolls onto the ledge, and that should unweight your back wheel and bring it along for the ride. The higher you go, the more exaggerated this movement will need to be. Next, if you want to use the pedal pressure skill to turn the bike, we can take it back to that first line on the ground. This time, line up parallel with it, and as you roll up, lean your bike away from the obstacle as you lean your shoulders where you want to go. Remember that you need to be on the back of your bike with your pedals rotated back right as you begin the lean. Then, add pedal pressure and pull the bars toward you. Start in the direction away from your forward foot. That's typically the easier direction to learn, and then try the other direction. If you're really feeling confident on this one, you can take this drill to another curb and test it out. Same principles apply. You can also use this skill to develop more confidence over your back wheel balance point. Try to use your pedals to bring your front wheel up, and then see if you can coast a full wheelbase with the momentum that you've created. If you really want to take this up a notch, bring up your front wheel, then grab your back brake and try to reset your pedals while you hold the back wheel balance point. Ease off your brake as you push the second pedal kick and see how it goes. There's a lot going on here as you're developing insane brake control and insane back wheel confidence at the same time. If you can do this, you're basically a trials rider like me. The point I want to emphasize the most about this skill is that while your pedal pressure and body position are important, what really brings this whole thing to life is how snappy you can make this movement. I frequently use my brakes to stop the bike completely, then kick the pedals to get the most movement out of my bike. As you develop this skill, you should definitely try to develop that same mindset of fast, snappy movement, and you'll eventually find that you're sneaking this movement into all kinds of riding scenarios. This might all feel unnatural at first, trying to develop brake control and using your pedals in a new way, but once you feel that unlock happening, it's totally worth it. Put a little time into it each ride, and don't forget, practice makes progress.